Hi everyone, and welcome to the channel Without a Wire, where we explore everything home automation. In today's video, we're going to take a look at the TP-Link bulbs and see what they're all about. TP-Link is based in Shenzhen, China, and was founded by two brothers in 1996. They developed a network card based on the concept of twisted pair link, which was invented by Alexander Graham Bell and is a method of making a cable or network cable or communication cable in such a way that magnetic fields don't interfere with the cabling. TP-Link pride themselves in developing products for their stability, performance and value. So let's have a look and put this to the test. But before we get started, none of the products reviewed in this video is sponsored. This is not a sponsored video. This light bulb I actually bought 7 years ago when I started my home automation journey. Please remember to give this video a like, hit that subscribe button and ding that bell icon so you can get notifications of future content. Hi everyone and welcome back. So let's take a look at the TP-Link light bulb, what's outside the box and what's inside the box. And then we'll get this light bulb set up and see what features it has to offer and how it compares to its competitors. Let's get started. So firstly, on the outside of the box, unfortunately I don't have the box of this light bulb anymore. I bought this light bulb 7 years ago when I got my own home automation started. Back then there was a real limited choice of light bulbs, and this was actually considered the cheaper one. Back then I think I paid about $600 for this, and the alternative to this was the Philips Hue, which went into the thousands. So even though I don't have the box, it actually tells you quite a lot on the box. It tells you that it's a Wi-Fi light bulb. It tells you the brightness, whether it's 600 or 800 lumens, depending on the light bulb that you bought. It also tells you that it's compatible with Alexa, Google and IFTTT. It also has the easy setup guide. The easy setup on the box is very basic. It tells you where to get the app, how to install the light bulb, and then it refers you to the TP-Link Casa app. Further, it has some technical specifications and tells you more about the light bulb. So there's fairly comprehensive information on the outside of the box, which tells you exactly what the light bulb is and what it can do. So that said, let's look at the inside of the box. If we take a look at what's inside the box, there's a little leaflet that you can open up, and it tells you step by step how to set up the light bulb in the app. It's quite intuitive. It's got screenshots that takes you through the app, and it shows you what you are supposed to see in the app when setting up the light bulb or any other TP-Link device. I found an easy aid online, and I left the link in the description below if you are interested to go see what it looks like. Next, let's have a look at the light bulb. First of all, it tells you it's TP-Link. You can see it's quite a big light bulb, and it's quite heavy too. And then it gives you some information on the light bulb there in the green. You won't be able to see it on the camera, but I can take you through it. It tells you that it's a Wi-Fi light bulb. It tells you what voltage it runs on. It runs on 50 Hertz, and the power consumption is about 0.5 amps. It also tells you that it's 2700 kelvins, which means this is a warm white light bulb. And it also tells you how bright it is. It tells you it's 800 lumens. Now with these light bulbs, there's 4 variations that you can get. This is the LB110, which is the warm white light bulb. You also get a cheaper one, the LB100, which is also a warm white light bulb, but at 600 lumens. Then you get the LB120, which is the upgrade from this one, which will give you both cool and warm white. And then you will get the LB130, which is the RGB light bulb, and would give you the colors including warm white and cool white. These ones are considered to be the older ones, although you do still get them from quite a few suppliers in South Africa. The newer light bulbs seems to be the KL series. They follow the same numbers, the KL 100, 110, 120 and 130, with exactly the same features and exactly the same setup and app. The only difference that I could find between the LB series and the KL series is basically the design, the weight. The KL series is also 1.2 centimeters shorter than this one, so it's a smaller light bulb. And then for the US market, the KL series also conforms to the Energy Star certifications that's required in the US. Other than that, it's exactly the same light bulb. The KL100 is also 600 lumens, same as the LB100, and the KL110, 120, and 130 are all 800 lumens, the same as the LB series. So not much difference between the two, except for the design. Now that we've had a look at the packaging and its insides, let's install this light bulb and see how it sets up in the app. So let's get the app started. So when you start the app, you'll see there's no devices yet, or if you have devices, they will probably be listed. But you can start by hitting the plus sign in the top right hand corner of the app. You can say you want to set up a device, or you can set up a group of devices. It brings up the series of devices that TP-Link has to offer, and you can just click on Smart Lights. In the Smart Lights menu, you will see that there's the LB series, the KL series, and all the rest of the light bulbs in the TP-Link series. So let's switch this on and see what happens. It's supposed to flash. There we go. So it's ready for setup. Let's tap on LB110. The light bulb did give us an indication that it's ready to set up, so you can just go through the setup. Then it brings you to a place where you actually need to leave the app. I'm not very fond of this, but you need to leave the app and connect to the light bulb's Wi-Fi. So let's do that. Connect to the light bulb, and once it's connected, you can go back into the app and it starts the setup immediately. Connect to the Wi-Fi, and then the light bulb is supposed to give you a dim and bright to tell you that it's now set up. There we go. Now it's set up, and you can give your device a name. You can choose an icon, or you can take a picture of the light bulb or pull a picture from the internet or whatever to associate with your newly set up light bulb. And it's done, and you can actually start using the light bulb on, off and on. Then once you go into the light bulb, you can see there's two menus, a power menu and a brightness menu. So we are in the brightness menu at the moment, and just for the video, I'll put it down to 1%. So in the app, you have 4 presets, 100%, 75%, 25%, and a 1%. Or you can use the dial in the app to adjust your brightness. If we go into power, that's just a mechanism to switch it off and on. And then if you go into settings, the little wheel on the top right hand corner, it will give you the device name, and it will also give you default states. From the app, you can choose last on state, or you can use one of your presets. Right? And if you go back and you say from power source, you can also use that. So you can also use last on state or one of the 4 presets available in the app. And then it will give you the device info, serial number, network strength, all that kind of stuff. If you go into presets at the bottom, you can actually go and you can set these presets to different percentages of brightness should you choose to. But I found that the 125, 75, and 100% is more than enough for the presets. And then you can also go in and see what sequence you used the last time. If you go into schedule, you can actually add a schedule by just tapping the plus in the right hand top corner. You can choose turn on, turn off, use a preset. You can even choose whether it should fade instantly or over a certain amount of seconds or minutes. And then you can also choose the time of the day, or you can choose switch on by sunrise or before or after sunrise, and the same with sunset. And right at the bottom, you can then choose which days you want these presets to happen. Alright, if we go to usage, this is a neat feature for the TP-Link app and all the devices associated with it. It gives you instantaneous usage. It gives you the energy in terms of kilowatt hours, and it also tells you how long it's been running. Then if you swipe to the left, you'll see the past 7 days, and if you swipe once more, you can actually see in the last 30 days. And then at the bottom, it will give you a calculation as to what this light bulb will consume in terms of power for the day and predicted for the year. So you can actually go and see how much energy this light bulb will consume in a year and how much it will cost you in electricity. That's the device. Let's go through on the app. If we look at the main app, there's devices. As you can see, we only have one device in the app. We go to the next menu. There's a menu for cameras, which we don't have. Then scenes. Scenes are quite easy to set up. You can tap on the scene, set the device as to what you want it to do, switch on, switch off, dim, bright, which percentage you want the light bulb to be on or off. And then you can save it. And if you tap on that scene, it will change the light bulb to that setting that you defined in the scene. Very easy to set up, very quick. Then you can go to Smart Actions. This is actually quite a nice menu where if you add a smart action, it's like setting up a routine in the Alexa app or in Smartthings or in Home Assistant. But if you have an ecosystem of TP-Link devices, you can actually use a motion sensor to trigger a camera, or you can use a camera to trigger a light, or whatever the case may be. You will always have a trigger with subsequent actions. And if you have a TP-Link ecosystem, you can actually set routines that runs within the app, and you do not need to go out to something like Alexa to set up a routine. Then if you go into activity, it will tell you when the light bulb went on or off, or if you have cameras, when you detected motion, or whatever the case may be. There's an activity log that tells you how the devices behaved and triggered throughout the day. Then if we go into the menu, top left hand corner, there's Casa Care. You click on that, it will take you to the page where you have your subscription. So if you have a camera service or a security system running on Casa Care, all your subscriptions will appear in this menu. If you go into Works with Casa, it will tell you where you can integrate the app into. So there's Amazon Alexa, there's Google Assistant, IFTTT, Samsung Smartthings, and then a whole range of other products that you can link to the light, like door and window sensors, door locks, motion sensors, and other smart lights. There's also a help menu where you can get help, frequently asked questions, all that kind of stuff. In the settings menu, you can go set your notifications, and you can go reset your password, update firmware. It also gives you an option to update firmware in bulk. It will give you a list of your devices, and you can update all the firmware at once. There's email preferences, notification preferences, where you can switch on and off whether you want notifications for certain things, promotions, or whatever the case may be. Then you just have the rest of the run-of-the-mill menu items like About This App and Discover Casa, which is basically a marketing page for all the other products. So that takes care of the app. Let's have a look at the integrations. If you go into the hamburger menu again, top left corner, and you tap on Works with Casa, let's test out Amazon Alexa. If you tap on Amazon Alexa, it will take you to the screen, ask you to link, take you out to the Alexa app, and from there, the link is seamless. You go back, Google Assistant. From within the TP-Link Casa app, you can't link with Google Assistant. You would actually go into Google Assistant itself and have to link from there. IFTTT, the same. It will just tell you how to link it from within the IFTTT app. And Smartthings will also take you out to a website telling you how to link your TP-Link Casa smart bulb with Smartthings. So let's go and see how the integrations work with the other automation platforms. Go into Google. So on Google, you tap Settings, you scroll down to the bottom, and you choose Works with Google right at the bottom. At the top, you can search for Casa. If you search for TP-Link, it doesn't work that well, so I recommend that you search for Casa. It will bring up TP-Link Casa, and from there, you would just need to put in your credentials that you registered your TP-Link Casa app with, and it will take you through a setup wizard up to a point where you can actually control your devices. Let's see. There we go. And that is Google. So let's have a look at Smartthings. In Smartthings, you go into the devices menu, you click on the plus sign, you say add device, and then you go down to the bottom, choose by brand, and you run a search for Casa once again. Once you've found Casa, you tap on Casa, put in your credentials for your TP-Link Casa app, and it will link, bring up your device to the main menu, and you will be all set. And that is Smartthings. Both Google and Smartthings takes more or less a minute and a half because of their user flow and how to link the Casa app with the integration platforms. Let's have a look at IFTTT. Once you're in the IFTTT website or app, you can just type in Casa in the search bar and the TP-Link Casa icon will come up and you just tap on that. Once you go into that menu, it will ask you to link. Again, just put in your credentials for the TP-Link Casa app and it will link instantaneously. Once it's linked, you can also see that there's predefined apps that will help you with your automation, where you don't need to go and write your own apps if an app already exists. And that is IFTTT. Even though the box or the app doesn't tell you that there's an integration with Home Assistant, it actually does have an integration to Home Assistant. It's also really easy. Once you go into Home Assistant, you go into Settings, Integrations, and on Integrations, you just choose Add New Integration. From there, you run a search for Casa. Once you ran a search for Casa, it's real easy. You can just tap on Next for Home Assistant to search for devices, and it will pick up the light bulb instantaneously. Once it's set up, you can go into your dashboard and add a dashboard card for your light, and you can actually switch it on and off from Home Assistant. You will notice that Home Assistant will not ask you for a username and password if you did not specify a server name. That means that Home Assistant also supports local control. So I put it to the test. I disconnected my router from the internet and it worked. So Home Assistant actually supports local control. If your internet is down but your home network is still running, you will still be able to control this light bulb and run automations from Home Assistant. So you don't need an internet connection for Home Assistant to interface with the TP-Link Casa light bulb. So now that we've had a look at the light bulb, the packaging, the app, the features, let's look at the price point. The cheapest I could find online was $399. They even stretch up to 1,100 Rand for a single light bulb, and then it's not even the top of the range light bulb. So the prices are all over the show. So the minimum I could find was $399. The maximum I could find was over 4,000. So if you pay anything more than 600 Rand for any of these light bulbs in the range, doesn't matter whether it's the LB100 or the LB130 or even the KL series, if you are paying more than 600 Rand for any of these light bulbs, you are being taken for a ride. Which brings us to my likes and dislikes of this light bulb. So let's have a look at the likes. First thing I like about these light bulbs is not necessarily the light bulb, but the app, is the fact that you can do a bulk firmware upgrade. The second thing I like about these light bulbs, or of course maybe the app, is the fact that the scenes are really easy to set up, and it's a 1 or 2 step process and your scene is set up. The third thing I like about the TP-Link Casa app, not necessarily the light bulbs again, is the fact that you can set up limited automations. You can set up your own routines. So if you have an ecosystem of TP-Link devices, you can actually have automations running within the TP-Link Casa app. The next thing I like about the TP-Link light bulbs, or actually the ecosystem, is the fact that you have local control in Home Assistant, which means that even if your internet goes down, you still have control over your devices and you can still run the routines or automations that you have set up in Home Assistant. Let's have a look at the dislikes. Firstly, these are expensive light bulbs. I did find one or two for $399, but then it's for a particular model in the range. The rest of them are all over the show, and the average price is about $550 to $600 for one of these light bulbs, which is really expensive given the features that you get and how it performs against its competitors. The second thing I don't like about these light bulbs is the previous state. Even though you can define a previous state, you have to define how bright the light bulb should be after a power failure or after you reboot the app or whatever. There's no off state, which means that for us in South Africa, when we have load shedding or a blackout and the power comes back on, this light bulb will go back on. Yes, you can set it to 1%, but the light bulb will still go on. It won't bother you as much, but you would still need to go and reset it to a different brightness level or even go switch it off. So the previously on state is not fully functional as one would expect it to be. The third thing I don't like about these light bulbs is they are bulky. So it's extremely difficult fitting them into a conventional light fitting or a ceiling fitting or even a wall fitting. They are a bit bulky and they don't fit nicely into these light fittings. I don't know how they compare to the newer designs, even though the design is a little bit shorter, it's just 1.2 centimeters. It's still a bulky light bulb. The last thing I don't like about these light bulbs, having had one for quite a while, is the reset capability. TP-Link says that if the light bulb doesn't blink or fade away when you set it up, you need to reset it by switching it on and off 5 times. Now this one, you'll see I actually have a little mark here on it, a little cross. This one I struggled for nearly 2 years to reset. So from my personal experience, the reset capability does not work as stated in the app or in the Easy Act guides. Now let's have a look how the TP-Link Casa light bulbs stack up against its competitors. The outside of the box scores a 7. It gives you all the information you need about the light bulb as well as where you can integrate it to. It covers the technical specifications so you know exactly what you are buying and what the bulb looks like. The inside of the box scores an 8 with a comprehensive leaflet and sufficient information on the light bulb, letting you know that it's a smart bulb that can be integrated into your Wi-Fi. The feature scores a 7 with in-app automations within the TP-Link Casa ecosystem, but it still fails on the previously on state. Brightness scores an 8 at 800 lumens, and the Alexa integration scores a 10. Again, lightning fast and under 20 seconds. Google scores a 7 because of its user flow, and it takes a bit of time to get this light bulb set up and working in the Google Assistant app. Home Assistant scores a 9. Setup is really easy, really fast, and it also supports local control. Smartthings scores a 7 with a similar user flow as Google Assistant, and it takes around about one and a half minutes to set up. IFTTT scores an 8 with a relatively fast setup and predefined applets that helps you with automations. There's no integrations for Apple HomeKit, therefore Apple HomeKit scores a 0. This gives us a score of 71 out of 100 and takes the TP-Link Casa light bulb to the top of the leaderboard. Thanks everybody for watching. If you like this video, please give it a like. Also hit subscribe and ding that bell icon if you want to get notifications of future content. If you want to contribute to this channel, you're welcome to join the Patreon campaign or do a once-off donation to PayPal. All the links are in the description below. If you would want to get your own smart home started, you're welcome to contact me on the email address on the screen below. Or if you want to show off your own home automation and some innovative ideas, you're also welcome to contact me and we can make a plan. If you would like to know where to buy these products, all the product links are in the video description. What do you think of these light bulbs? And what light bulbs are you using? Let us know by leaving a comment on the video. What other light bulbs would you like to see reviewed on the channel? Also let us know by leaving a comment on the video. Thanks everybody for watching and see you in the next video.